So today we're going to do my pan those eyeshadows. I'm excited. There's not a huge update. As you know, over the summer, obviously I haven't been going into too much, but I've been trying my best to keep on track of all of my projects. I do have one shade rolling out, but I haven't hit pan on anything. It is to be expected, but as usual, I'll just go through the shades that I use the least to the most. And then we're going to be rolling in a new shade today. I will be rolling a completely random shade. Normally I pick the palette and then, or I randomize the palette and then I pick the shade. We're actually just going to randomize a complete unknown shade in my collection because the shade that we're rolling out, I believe, was the shade that I randomized several months ago. So I usually always like to have one random, like completely random shade in this project. I also like to have a ColourPop single and then the rest I kind of pick the shades, if that makes sense. Just realized in my thumbnail is holding my pan palette, so just ignore that because it's not part of the project. Okay, let's go into the shade that I've used the least this month, which actually is my ColourPop single. It is from the Honey palette and it is the shade Sweet Spot. I've only gone into this 2 times. I thought I got into it a little bit more, but this is what we're looking like today. It's still going to be a while before I do hit pan, but you know, it's fine. I usually have a 3-month rule and then I can roll out if I haven't hit pan within 20 uses, or if I haven't hit pan within 20 uses before that, then I can also roll out. Moving on, we have a shade in the Gloss Gods Vintage Glam, which I do have on today. It's called Legend Has It. It's a gorgeous taupe, chunky shimmer right here. This one probably doesn't look too different from last time. I went into it three times last month, and then I've gone into it 3 times this just last month. So 6 times in total since I've rolled it in. It's one of these chunkier ones. So usually Gloss God shades are super easy for me to hit pan on when they're nice and creamy and malleable. This one, because it's more of a chunky one, I actually use less, and obviously it's less squishy. So it's gonna take a little bit of time, but it's super pretty. It's just like gorgeous. So if you're into like real like neutrals with like this gorgeous like taupey shimmer flip, whatever, it's stunning, this shade, to be honest. There's a few of them in my collection. This is definitely one of the best out of all of them. And I think Gloss Gods actually do these shades really well, but you have to find them amongst all their colorful palettes, which is not always what people want. But yeah, that one I've only gone into 3 times this month. Next up, we've got a shade in the Muse palette from Cosmic Beauty. This one I've been really enjoying. So the shade is called Water Lily. It is the green that I have on. Sometimes it looks like lime green. It's really interesting. I'm actually really pleased with how it's looking right now. And I thought I might be able to hit pan before this update, but it just didn't happen. I think 1 or 2 more uses and I will hit the pan because these are quite shallow. But yeah, I do have quite a nice little dip forming there. Hopefully it's in focus, I can never tell. But this one has been really nice and fun to use. It works really nicely with all of my neutral browns that I've been going into lately, which so happen to be in a lot of my project pans anyway. I have quite a lot of neutrals that I need to hit pan on or work on, and it just works perfectly. And being a Virgo, I feel like it's fitting for me to be working on browns and greens because it is the month of the Virgo. I'm going to be talking about it quite a lot, and I'm into my Virgo era with the looks that I'm doing, and it just so happens that it kind of works out for me. So but that one, yeah, I used it 4 times. Last month I used it 2 times, so that's 6 times in total because I think it's only been in for 2 months as well. Next up is the shade that we're going to be rolling out. So I have a shade in my retro palette from Natasha Denona. This one I've used 20 times and I have not hit pan. So I was at 15 uses last month and I went into it 5 more times this month, and this is what we're looking at, the shade right here. There's a little bit of a dip, there's a little bit of a disturbance, but obviously nowhere near hitting the pan on this. You guys warned me it was not going to happen, and I believe you. Obviously I've hit pan in her cream to powder shades because they just are a little bit easier. This is her matte, and obviously it is quite difficult. So yeah, 20 uses in total over, I think, 4 months, so like 5 uses every single month. I will be rolling this one out and replacing it, but it's been fun to go into this, and it's a really nice palette. You might hear my son in the background, so I apologize if that is distracting, but he is quite energetic this morning, so I couldn't like calm him down before I filmed. Anyway, moving on, we have the Cosmic Beauty. This is the Delicious Delights. And I just rolled this shade in last month, but I've already used it 6 times. It is the white matte that I have in my inner corner, and it's called Whipped, and it is right here. And you can see straight away I have quite a nice dip forming already. I think this one I will hit pan in by next update. So both Cosmic Beauties I expect to be rolling out the next time. They are pretty shallow, like I've mentioned, and I have hit pan in their mattes before, but it was like a very pale one. You can see like the zesty one. I'm kind of close to that too. But anyway, working on the white, and I do think I'll have a pan in it next time. I've been really enjoying it, just like using it as I have done today. It's a really nice brightening shade to brighten my inner corner. So, you know, that's all I've been using it for. Okay, so now we're gonna be randomizing a random shade. So like I said, I'm going to include absolutely everything. However, if it rolls in a shade in a palette that I'm trying to hit pan on, I will roll again. Obviously, that's the only time that I'll roll again. If it does land on a black matte, I think I will cry, but let's just see how it goes. So I'm actually just gonna do a random number generator. I have 1,219 shades in my collection. My son is so loud. Hopefully it's not too distracting. It's very distracting for me. Okay, so we're gonna roll and see what we get. I can never see what I'm looking at. 602. So let me go see what that is. Okay, so this is pretty cool. This is from the Glamshop palette Nougat Toa. I know I say that wrong. Everyone's told me how to say it and I keep saying it wrong. I'm sorry. The shade that was rolled, can you believe it, is this one right here. This is number 602 in my collection. I do by brand alphabetically. So whenever I get a new palette, I kind of like rearrange everything because I'm just that way. So it's not oldest to newest. Like I know some people's lists are oldest to newest. Mine is alphabetical. Anyway, so this is where it landed on. I actually think this is such a cool shade and one of the prettier shades in this palette. I'm really happy that it didn't land on one of these boring shades because that would have been a little bit boring. No, this is really cool. So let me swatch everything because obviously I haven't swatched everything for you, and we will see what this new shade looks like. Okay, so this is my color story without that new shade. So I'm just gonna swatch it now so we can see what it looks like next to this white. You could see it's absolutely stunning. It's a purple, but it has very much obviously that blue sheen and flip. It doesn't have too much of a base to it. So it's gonna be really pretty just to put like as a topper shade over my lids, and or even just like an inner corner shade. But I think that's going to work out really well. I do have still somewhat of a very muted color story. It's still kind of earthy in my opinion, but I really like it. And yeah, I'm excited. I think it all works really well together. It definitely looks like the earth. And it looks quite reminiscent of a Virgo color story. Do I say so? Yes, I think so. I think so. Anyway, so yeah, that is the new shade. I'm super excited. I'm glad it's not a black matte. That would have been horrendous. But yeah, yay, new color story. I'm so pleased. Okay, well, anyway, that is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. My next video will be a shop my stash because I haven't done that in a long time and I desperately need to change out everything. So stay tuned for that. I hope everyone's doing well and I'll see you next time. Bye.